A man goes for a walk with his dog. He comes home annoyed and accidentally invents one of the most useful things in human history. It was the late 1940s. A man and his dog were hiking through the mountains of Switzerland. When they got home, his pants and his dog's fur were completely covered in burrs. Those tiny, stubborn seed pods that grab onto everything and refuse to let go. Most people brush them off and forget about it. He didn't. His name was Georges Mestral, and he was an engineer. Instead of throwing the burrs away, Georges Mestral put one under a microscope. What he saw stopped him cold. Hundreds of tiny hooks, each one perfectly curved, and they were grabbing onto the microscopic loops in the fabric of his pants. Nature had already invented the perfect fastener. He just had to figure out how to copy it. He took the idea to fabric experts in Lyon, France, then the world capital of weaving. They laughed at him, a fastener inspired by a weed made of fabric. Nobody believed it would work. But here's what almost killed the idea completely. Georges Mestral spent years testing materials. Cotton wore out too fast. Most synthetic fibers didn't hold their shape. Then he found nylon, tough, flexible, durable. And when he finally figured out how to cut each tiny loop at exactly the right angle, the hooks worked. Every square inch held hundreds of them. It took nearly 10 years, but it held. You've heard that sound your entire life. In 1955, Georges Mestral received his patent. He named his invention Velcro. Two French words, velours, velvet, crochet, hook. The two sides in one name. When Velcro hit the market in the early 1960s, the fashion industry wanted nothing to do with it. It looked cheap, like leftover fabric scraps. No designer would touch it. Georges Mestral needed someone else to say yes. NASA said yes. Astronauts needed a way to secure equipment inside spacecraft and to get in and out of bulky spacesuits quickly. No buckles, no laces, no tools. Velcro was perfect. Once the world saw it on a spacesuit, everything changed. And then came the fact almost nobody knows. In early medical experiments, Velcro was used to help hold components in place during heart procedures. The same material that started as a hiking annoyance ended up inside a human body. From the Alps to the operating table. By the late 1960s, Velcro Industries was selling over 60 million yards of fastener every single year. Children's shoes, ski suits, military gear, blood pressure cuffs. The thing the fashion world called cheap was absolutely everywhere. Georges Mestral died in 1990. He had long sold his rights to the company, but what he made is still here, in your jacket, in your kids' shoes, on the International Space Station. It all started because one engineer came home from a walk in the mountains, but instead of brushing off the burrs, he paid attention. That's Velcro.